It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, opening up on S3. Like you've heard, it's a health conversation carrying on throughout this morning. It is Health Tuesdays. Now, listen, you've definitely seen the weather as well, and you can sense there's a bit of chill coming through. And this means we are transitioning into a season where illnesses and flus start to become quite prevalent. But I think the best line of defense when we're talking about this is knowledge. And we've got someone here to do just that, give us all the knowledge for the season. He is the Principal Officer of Bonitas Medical Health. We're talking about Lee Calacoppen, here to talk about some incredible insights into how we are educating a nation, giving free advice that could hopefully serve us all as we enter this insane season that is something inevitable. But don't worry, we've got the help right here. Lee, how are you doing this morning? You good?
I'm very well, thank you, Raul. Thanks for having me, and good morning to all your viewers.
Yeah, listen, it's so good having you here. I think it's perfect timing as we do enter these crazy seasons. And yes, flus, respiratory illnesses are very heightened at this moment. But talk to me about what's happening at the forefront of this initiative that you've got going on, because wow, this is exciting stuff to say the least.
Yeah, no, most definitely, Raul. This is something that really excites me. You know, as a medical aid that's been around for 40 years for South Africans, we've really taken a position in terms of moving away from sick care and educating members. And one of the key aspects for us is to actually look at preventative care. And when we talk about preventative care, is how do we educate and create awareness around specifically the common seasonal aspects that members are experiencing. COVID taught us a hell of a lot in terms of ongoing education and knowledge around it. So to that end, if one considers going into the flu season, you know, a lot of people will face challenges associated with it. We saw that particularly last year, where we saw a rise in terms of respiratory illnesses. And what are we talking about? We're talking about flu, pneumonia, H1N1, RSV, HMPV, a lot of fancy acronyms, but in simplistic terms, pneumonia. And keeping to that specific issue, what we've embarked on as a scheme is to actually create what we call a knowledge hub, specifically focusing on respiratory illnesses in terms of understanding and educating members in terms of what can be done, how can we identify the symptoms from a preventative perspective, how can we actually educate them in terms of what they can do in terms of navigating it, in terms of the type of treatment that they can sort, and in that sense, empowering and educating a nation in terms of more preventative healthcare rather than sick care.
Hey man, I feel like I should be celebrating this. This is perfect because obviously prevention is better than cure. And I love where we are going because constantly we just put a Band-Aid on the problem and we don't actually solve it inherently. And this is speaking to actually a true solution, which I absolutely love. What about this was giving you the incentive to actually make it happen? Why did this idea come about? Why did you feel South Africans needed this?
Ryan, as what I mentioned in terms of, you know, education is power, knowledge is power, as the old saying goes. And, you know, our knowledge hub and our information is not just dedicated for our membership. So if you go onto our website, bonitas.co.za, it's actually freely available for all South Africans.
Even if I'm not a member?
Even if you're not a member.
Amazing, okay.
So that members can access things such as, you know, infographics, videos, etc., to actually understand in terms of how to navigate their healthcare and take a proactive step in terms of doing it. So, you know, to the point around what has incentivized us to do it, we believe that as South Africans and as a proudly South African company, Healthcare for South Africans, that we need to share this knowledge. Because at the end of the day, a healthier society is a productive society at the end of the day. And that for us is central to our philosophy in terms of bringing healthcare and making healthcare accessible and affordable for all South Africans.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better, man. Words of wisdom. But more so, I'm proud of the fact that there are companies and organizations like yourselves that are thinking about the people. It's not just about business for you. It's not just about making money, but you seem to actually care. And I think in this day and age, that's quite a rare thing. So definitely putting my hands together and appreciating that for you. But what would you hope in terms of this being a true success? And especially for not just your members, but for South Africa in general, because you're giving this to the entire nation. What would your idea of success be in terms of how you're seeing this initiative play out?
Well, Raul, that's a big question that I could probably spend hours in answering. But in short around it is that we're the health citizen. South Africans take a proactive approach to a healthier lifestyle, because lifestyle diseases can impact us later in life. We might, as young people, believe right now, we're immune to illnesses, etc.
Yeah.
But through this initiative, by people taking active steps in terms of awareness, education, knowledge of basic things such as the flu and many other type of illnesses, to understand in terms of how can they navigate and improve their health and take preventative steps early on in their life. And in terms of further to that, how do you actually create awareness across various societies and so that we can all as a society grow in terms of becoming a healthier society and take proactive care of our health rather than waiting for later in life when, you're trying to seek health through a medical aid or, various avenues to take care of it. So early detection, preventative care is critical for us, and we're hoping to achieve that through this knowledge sharing and utilizing the information that's on our website and through the Respiratory Illness Hub.
Lee, this is so cool, because I'm just picturing this world where South Africans can actually live out their true potential. And I think a lot of these ailments, these illnesses and everything else that's affecting us is limiting us from actually becoming ourselves and becoming our authentic selves. And you're giving South Africans an opportunity to do that. So I can't thank you enough. Yeah. Just a quick one. Let's just remind South Africa, where can they access this information? Because again, you mentioned that it's available to everybody right now, not just Bonitas clients. So where is that website? What do they go to?
You go to www.bonitas.co.za/respiratory hub, and the information is available. It's there to consume. But I have to stress, if members or a patient is experiencing illness, other than the information available, seek advice from your healthcare provider, especially your GP. They're there to assist you.
Absolutely. Lee, I can't thank you enough for coming through. You
Thanks,
have
Val.
given us a breath of fresh air when it comes to the box of health being ticked. And that means you, South Africa, can capitalize on this. Get over to their website, get your box ticked when it comes to health, and let's carry on with this incredible conversation. Lee, I can't thank you enough. And I'm feeling at ease. We've got solutions finally. Yes.
Thank you.
At Bonitas, we've got your back. We make our plans simple, so they're easy to understand. When you need us, Bonitas. Join now.